as frustrated, upset, and angry we are, okay, the reality check is we have no options. We cannot give up and give in and hope for the best. People are now dying. And as much as we'd like to believe that the figures of COVID deaths are only 3,000 per day, I think now more than enough anecdotal evidence exists that unless Delhi, for example, has only 300 official COVID deaths, I don't know, my inboxes are flooded with condolences messages for one family or the other. So either it's a coincidence that I know everyone who's dying, or more than what is being reported are dying. And there are many administrative reasons why deaths are not being recorded in the way they should be, but that's a reality check. Amidst all of this, new state governments are about to be formed in 4 major states: in Bengal, in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, in Assam, and of course in the Union Territory of Puducherry. These state governments, whoever they are, honestly at this point of time nobody cares which party wins, but whoever comes back or comes in does not have time to figure out who their health minister will be and when swearing in will be and who to appoint as health secretary and how to expand cabinet. They have to hit the ground running. This has to be a verdict for action. And what we are going to do is set up this conversation and get in doctors to tell us what that action needs to be. There is no time, there is no patience, and frankly, there is plenty of disgust in the political community in this country right now. So we need the doctors to tell us what they want, what's required, and how quickly we can roll it out so that these new administrators, etc., can get their job done very, very rapidly. Joining us on the broadcast, Padma Shri Dr. Sanjeev Bagai. He is Chairman and MD of Nephron. Dr. Girish Tyagi. He is the Secretary of the Delhi Medical Association. Dr. Sangeeta Datta is joining us out of Guwahati, which is a state that is going to see an election result tomorrow. Dr. Utpal Banerjee and Dr. Sayan Mishra are joining us out of Kolkata. Again, Bengal sees election results from tomorrow. And I'm going to be opening this up to doctors from Tamil Nadu a bit later as well. If I can take the opportunity to quickly set this up, Dr. Tyagi. Now, in normal circumstances, Dr. Tyagi, when government transformations take place in states, you wait a few days for swearing in, oath taking, then cabinet formation, cabinet expansion. We don't have time for any of that. What would your advice be to whoever forms governments in the 4 states in one unit territory? How much time have they got to figure out things? What should they be doing tonight to prepare? What is the action plan that we need to have ready for these states immediately?
Yeah, as you already told, there is no time. As soon as the results are over, whosoever party comes into power should come into action directly without waiting for anything, any minister, anything, whosoever, because ultimately the CM will be there. They will elect the CM maybe whenever the result at the earliest. And the action plan has to be done immediately. There is no time as far as that. And we will see the number of exponential cases of in Bengal, where the election has done.
Okay, so what do you see now? Now, you've already seen cases increasing in Bengal, where the positivity rate in Kolkata, for example, has been 50% and above. In Tamil Nadu, it's increasing. But what is what is your warning to the administrators in these states after having learned the lessons from Delhi, that this happened in Delhi, it's currently happening in Delhi, can happen and is likely to happen in these states? What is your dire warning to the administrators and netas tomorrow who will take over?
First, they should think of the vaccination at the earliest, because the vaccination will save the transmission of the disease. And of course, they should increase the beds and take care of the oxygen, take care of that, take care of the first priority is to take care of the beds and take care of the oxygen, because once the cases are increasing, the panic will be there. Panic is already there, then patient will be going to the hospital or nursing home or whatever so they should increase the number of beds immediately.
That's theoretical advice. I'm trying to get into practical. Dr. Tyagi, by how much? What is the lesson of Delhi? Increase the beds by 2x, 3x, 4x. What is the lesson actually?
They should think at least 4x. At least 4x. Whatever there is.
Okay.
And use all the resources. Whether their army medical personnel are there, army hospital are there, private hospitals there, take use of dental students, interns, nursing students. They should take care of all the resources, whatever available. Take the help of other states where the pandemic is, the cases are less. Take the help of other states also.
Okay, let me get Dr. Syed Mishra in from Kolkata. Dr. Mishra, can you help us get a reality check of what is the situation and what are the priorities? Because we don't have time to figure out swearing-ins and change of guard and cabinets, and we don't have time for all of that. What are your priorities? What are the problems? Dr. Mishra, just unmute yourself as you start, sir, please. Dr. Mishra, can you hear me, sir? Okay, I'm going to assume he can't hear me. So let me then pick up that same logic with Dr. Tyagi. Dr. Tyagi, what needs to then get done? You said fourfold of beds. Now oxygen was the other priority. What do we do with the oxygen?
Because they have to coordinate with the central. I'm not aware of the current oxygen supply with the Bengal. But since the number of beds will be increased, then number of oxygen cylinders, oxygen supply has to be restored with all the beds. So they have to take care directly with the center and maybe with the help of.
Okay, no, that's again theory. Dr. Tyagi gets to practice. Oxygen, does every hospital now, which is not built an oxygen plant, every major hospital, do they have 2 or 3 weeks to build one? Does every hospital now need to be thinking that we need to be storing 5 or 6 days of oxygen supply? What are the practical things, sir?
Yeah, practical things is that as the central government has already told that ban on the industrial use of oxygen, they should capitalize on that. What is the oxygen supply of the Bengal at the moment? We are not aware, but they should take the help of other states where the cases are less.
Here's a reality check. If you are sitting in Bengal, regardless of who's winning tomorrow, I don't care which political party you're in, okay? Whether you recently changed political parties, still belong to the same political party, think you'll be in government, don't think you'll be in government, whether you're an administrator thinking you'll be transferred tomorrow because the government might change, all of that is irrelevant. At this point of time, all you need to be thinking is oxygen, beds, basic medicines, and staff to man those beds, to have manpower, woman power on those beds. That's all you should be thinking. If you're thinking if you increase the bed by 10%, you've done a brilliant job, well, you are sleeping with your head in the sand because you're not grasping what has happened in Delhi, first in Mumbai, then in Delhi. People are dying on the streets. And Delhi, the national capital, is the best equipped in the country. And people are dying on the streets. So that is an obvious thing that you need to do. If it is your responsibility to be ensuring people are being vaccinated, we need to ensure that the governments have a clear transition plan on how that vaccination drive is being conducted, because in most states, it is stalling rather than accelerating, which is a major, major disappointing hurdle. If we are now in a position that as doctors community are saying that there are certain drugs which are not the priority, remdesivir is not a priority, then the obsession with these drugs needs to be removed from the system because we are wasting resources, time and effort in running after ghosts. That needs to be purged very, very rapidly from the system. If the assumption is that there is enough medical personnel available, well, you don't know what happens after Delhi, where people are now burnt out because for 3 weeks it's been non-stop taking calls and seeing grief everywhere around you. So urgent escalation of medical staff has to be done. You have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. It is almost inevitable that this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Already I'm being told in places like Bengal, things like paracetamol, and this is anecdotal evidence because governments keep telling us everything is fine, when on the ground we can't find anything. And all officials say everything's fine, don't panic. Tell that to the people dying on the streets, don't panic. Doesn't make any sense. We are in desperate position. Even paracetamol in many chemists is no longer available because people do panic. And then they buy it. So that means what? We won't have paracetamol in the country. Come on. These logics can't apply. Dr. Mishra hopefully is with us. Dr. Mishra, what are the few priorities? Can you get us a dipstick test? Because we don't have time for our politicians to figure out transition of power tomorrow. What do we need to do immediately? Dr. Mishra, if you can hear me, sir. Okay, I'm assuming that he can't. So, okay, other than what I've already mentioned, Dr. Tyagi, what are the obvious priorities that need to get sorted out? Dr. Tyagi, if you can, yes. What are
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
other than what I mentioned, what are the obvious priorities that need to be sorted out?
The bad oxygen, the medicine you have already solved. The manpower will be the biggest problem in the states, because once the cases are increased, you have to take care of the manpower, because already the doctors and healthcare professionals are fatigued enough. They because of work, because of pressure being called by the bureaucrats, politicians to adjust in the calling, and of course pressure from the patients also. So when the cases are increased, manpower will be
Sorry about the human power. Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Banerjee, can you hear me, sir? If you can, please unmute yourself, because I'd love to ask you a question. What are the priorities, sir, that as you see them? What's the immediate priority? Because we don't have time for transition of power right now, one way or the other. What are the priorities immediately?
See, just one thing. I have a different take on this issue. The ministers will come and ministers will go. The government is a permanent body. And in this unprecedented crisis of public health, when the government ain't existing, already we are lagging behind the time. We have lost few weeks, and there is no time we should act properly. In our state, what is happening? There are beds, but not all beds are not provided with proper oxygenation system and other things. So that is the most important thing. We have the physical infrastructure, but we need the oxygenated bed. We need supply of oxygen. Oxygens are available here, but the supply chain, the cylinders are not adequate. The government have not purchased empty cylinders or done anything to manage it, and so that the oxygen cylinders can be distributed in every small nursing home and small hospitals. And that's the main point. The oxygen
Dr.
is available.
Banerjee, as you are, I'm sure you're observing what is happening in Delhi, where people are dying on the streets.
Yes.
Fearful that something similar can happen in Kolkata, another major big city.
Any time we will see the same thing what is happening in Delhi.
Okay, so you're saying that, okay, how many beds? Because we are seeing photographs being said that, okay, ITC is putting a 200 bed facility. In real terms, 200 beds helps how?
Actually, beds, what I want to emphasize upon, beds are available. That not all beds are provided with not an oxygen bed. What the COVID patients did. The COVID patients with mild and asymptomatic patients, they can be well managed in isolation home. But who needs to be admitted? There is oxygen. The main thing which we need to start oxygen earliest in the hospitalized patient. That's the crisis. Not all beds are oxygenated beds. We have our
so it's
infrastructure of beds.
Okay, so
now we have oxygen. And
the mistakes we made in Delhi, sir, in Bengal, for example, in Delhi. In Delhi, Dr. Banerjee, we didn't build the oxygen plants.
Yes.
Have they been built in Bengal?
Actually, so far I have heard the government has taken some initiative to develop some oxygen plants, but what I think till date, the oxygen is available, oxygen is there, but the supply chain and management of that part to distribute the oxygen to the peripheral level, small nursing home and hospital.
Stay with me. Dr. Gilada is back with us. Dr. Gilada, 4 new governments. Now, on a normal day, you would have few days to oath take, then decide your cabinet, then appoint health minister, then you'll be doing transferring of senior secretaries. We don't have time for any of that. What on the get-go do we need to do, having learned lessons from Delhi, in Bengal, major state, Tamil Nadu, major state, Kerala, major state, Assam, major state?
One suggestion is given by Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is an advisor to the US president, and for last 7 terms continuously. What he said, this is the time India should get military on it. Let military work. Let everything be augmented. Let things work like a war. It's a war. What is the short of war? It's a war. So what is somebody was just now telling about oxygen plant. Last year, after the first wave, Government of India realized that there is a shortage of oxygen. They decided 162 hot districts and decided to give them 200 crore rupees and start the
None of
oxygen
that
plant.
happened, sir. So that's all.
Only 33 happened. Only 33 happened.
None of that happened. So my question right now is very simple, sir. At a time when nobody gives two hoots about politicians, okay, and whether center did or state did, nobody cares anymore. Okay, people are dying.
Yeah.
If you are sitting in Bengal right now, a major state which has been seeing a month and a half long election, okay, now whether you fight with EC, fight with BJP, TMC, doesn't matter. Whoever forms the government, honestly, nobody cares right now. The question is, this administration in Bengal, come tomorrow, May the 2nd, what should it prioritize, having learned from Delhi very, very rapidly?
Prioritize bringing army, start short-term hospitals, maybe 300 bed, 500 bed, wherever you can do, like army can do in 4 to 5 days or 7 days. DRDO has done that. Get oxygen from anywhere, come what may. See that beds are augmented, doctors are available. If doctors are not available, get interns, get medical students. If nurses are not available, get nursing students. Let the army be ready in all hospitals and put senior doctors in charge so that they can, in the meanwhile, when the patients are coming, they can train and system goes on. And make proper guidelines. Like, for example, you don't need only RT-PCR test to decide whether it's a COVID or not. If clinically COVID is COVID, you don't have to say that for remdesivir you need RT-PCR test. For COVID bed you need RT-PCR test. For certifying a dead body you need RT-PCR test. Something rubbish. We need to change those guidelines.
Okay, change the guidelines quickly. Start reacting. Assume a situation like Delhi. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. Dr. Misra, can you hear us, sir?
Yes.
Okay. We don't have time for now oath taking and swearing ins and cabinet formations and Babu transfers. We need to act now. What are the priorities that need to happen? May 2nd, so here we are. What needs to happen today, regardless of who's forming governments?
I don't care who forms the government. The people in the government will remain the same. The people in the ministries, only the ministers will change. Whoever forms the government, the main priority must be on the health infrastructure. Already the government has planned for oxygen PSA generators in Kolkata, here in medical colleges. So it is working now.
No, when you say working, how many plants have you heard of that have come online in the past few
In
days?
5 to 6 medical colleges, PSA generators have already been started.
Okay, they started working. That's an obvious proactive step. In Delhi, we were planning for 9, 5 have started. Okay. When it comes to number of beds available in Kolkata, we've seen, of course, the now infamous 200 beds ITC has put up. Where else are we seeing expansion happening, sir?
In Gitanjali Stadium, there is expansion of bed. In other hospitals also, in other medical colleges also, there is expansion of bed. In my hospital, we have expansion of bed where I am attached.
Okay.
So the government is working.
Percentage, sir? Are the beds increasing by 10%, 20%, or are we looking at double, triple?
We need to increase more. We need to increase more because this is the first time this pandemic, the second wave is much more dangerous and worse. We will have to act fast.
Okay. Oxygen, sir. So production. What about keeping oxygen reserves? Because today in Delhi, 8 people, including a senior doctor, have died because we've run out of oxygen in one of the hospitals. So keeping a bank of oxygen because of the logistic problems, how do we improve that in Bengal now?
There must be adequate supply of oxygen because initially what the problem happened, because of hoardings, people used to keep their oxygen cylinders in home unwanted, those who didn't require. So that's why from where the shortage of oxygen started. So we don't need to just store the oxygen. The adequate supply must be there.
Okay, supply coming from where, sir? Now Bengal is a large state. It does have manufacturing plants. It is neighboring with its neighboring states, which have also large steel manufacturing facility where plants are available.
Yes.
How much oxygen can be lifted, sir? And are there enough tankers available?
Yes, available.
Okay, so let's hope that they are available and ready. When it comes to vaccination, sir, and testing, which are the other two things, because the rest of it, remdesivir and this Choxi and all this is unproven stuff. What efforts need to be made to ramp up those facilities?
Actually, the main thing is that all people are not getting tested positive in this mutant strain, in this RT-PCR test. So remdesivir must be provided to others who have features who have the features of COVID. Other like symptoms, the CT scan.
Because every other doctor at the central level is saying that remdesivir should not be prescribed. Are you receiving guidelines indicating the same?
Yes, we are receiving, but remdesivir is working good.
Okay, so you are getting your information on this is coming from people you're prescribing it to?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Gilada, we have a major problem here, sir, then, because everybody at the international level and the central level is saying stop running after remdesivir, but that clearly is not filtering down, and we're getting opposite advice.
The confusion is remdesivir doesn't prevent death. It only can save 1 or 2 days of hospitalization. But doctors who are using remdesivir, they are thinking they are getting good results. And sometimes we have to go by evidence-based medicine or a practice-based medicine. So either evidence which is published or practicing what you are doing. But what you are saying that some people are saying in Delhi, remdesivir is the useless. All these people, they are hoarding remdesivir for themselves. If you do a lie detector test of all remdesivir producing companies, you will know how remdesivir has gone to different places. Everybody is hoarding remdesivir.
Okay, I don't know why we're still chasing after the remdesivir goes, because every doctor internationally and nationally says it's of very little use. May work, most probably doesn't, and still running, and state government is still running after this. Okay, Dr. Banerjee, to prepare for a situation like Delhi also requires to understand the gravity of the situation in Delhi, where people are now dying on the streets. Has that sunk in, sir? Do you feel that administrators have sunk in, the local, current MLAs or incoming MLAs, they are understanding the gravity of the situation?
See, we don't have any faith on our political administration. But we must obey, we must believe, we must keep our faith on our general administration. And health administration, by my knowledge goes, health administration so late, they have started working. And there are, what I have already told earlier, there are beds, but all beds should be oxygenated. We have enough oxygen, but we should restore a supply chain of the oxygen to the small hospital, small nursing home. We have shortage of empty cylinders. We have problem in refilling them. We have problem in overall management to tackle the situation. And these things should be corrected. This should be, we should bring everything in a systematic way so that people who are suffering, they should not run here and there. Where I will get the bed, where I will get admitted.
Exactly.
After admission, what will happen?
Okay, Dr. Banerjee, things like
this managerial part is very much important.
Okay, Dr. Banerjee, things like oximeters for people at home, thermometers, normal paracetamol. I'm told that a lot of chemists are running out of this, or there's black marketing, which means double, triple, quadruple rates being charged in different parts of Bengal. How do we stabilize that?
They are much worse off than us even now.
Yeah, Dr.
Actually, there are some issues. There are some issues of black marketing regarding these medicines like remdesivir and other things. But till your pulse oximeter, paracetamol, these are available. Though some dealers, some chemist shop, they are demanding more money for them. Till these are available.
Okay,
sometimes even doxycycline are also becoming not available. Till they are available, so the price has gone somehow.
Okay, but these are all
price has gone up in some cases.
In charge of, because let's be clear, nobody right now cares who's going to form the next government in Bengal. We care about what the next government in Bengal is going to be doing rapidly. There is no time for cheer, oath-taking, reshuffles, figuring out who's going to do what. A clear action plan has to be implemented from the get-go, which means from 0 hour, because it's going to get worse before it becomes better. And any things that's panicking, well, that's not panicking. Tell that to the people who are dying on the streets in Delhi. We were all thinking that when Mumbai was in trouble, that the rest of us should not panic. Well, right now, don't panic, but start acting. No one has time and patience for the politicians to figure out their games, slow and steady, and then blame each other. State blame center blame state, local officials blame capital city officials, senior bureaucrats. That game is now over. It needs to be over for all our sakes. We take a break. On the other side, I pick up what can be done in other parts of the country as well. See you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.